I understand nothing of this, and yet I still think many things is clear. This is so confusing, and yet no confusing at all. I just don't and it's simply because I do not understand. The real Gowther truly was an enigma. He wasn't killed. He wasn't someone who wanted to conquer the world. He didn't even want to have freedom just because of freedom. He seemed to be just like the real Gowther may have manipulated situations in order to have things in his favor, but only apparently because he desired to end the Holy War and the trial that King has been put through. Maybe now it is clearer than ever what it is. And also, it is confirmed one thing I never ever paid an attention to. You all remember Gerhard? We all remember that she had that hat over her eye, and the fact that she has a very long dress, and also that her wings are surprisingly shorter than they are in this flashback. Well, it turns out there's a reason for that, because Rao cut off her leg, her eye, and a part of her wings. So now I wonder, what is the trial? I mean, my guess is that Glocksnea, when he saw that, must have gone on so much rampage he would have killed Rao right there and there. And perhaps then he turned to the demons. Because as I said before, Glocksnea desired the destruction of humankind. I think it's very likely that Glocksnea and Dolor joined the Ten Commandments only because they wanted to kill all the humans because they just couldn't trust them anymore. And this is a late introduction, but yes, this is the Nanatsu no Taizai chapter 2, 1, 2. And I'm trying to tell this as clearly as I can because I don't understand. Honestly, I don't understand a single bit what just happened. First off, the doll Gowther appears before the people after King and Diana, after they reveal themselves not to be the kings. And he's surprisingly very open about that. And he reveals he actually knew that the humans will rebel against everything else. And this seems to drop a hint that the Holy War only got ended because of the humans. And I'm seriously still asking. They apparently had a grudge against Stigma. Why? Why? What did Stigma do? And from Gowther, the Dol Gowther's flashback that we got last time, it's revealed that the Fairy King Forest, the first Fairy King Forest, is under Kingdom Leonis. So I just wonder, what kind of grudge can the humans have gotten that is this mad? Given how the angels were, could it have been racism? I mean, they looked down on humans, so they wanted to have revenge. But this seems to hint that it was the humans that ended the Holy War. Still doesn't answer the question on why the Ten Commandments were sealed off and everything else. The king accuses him of manipulating many lives, but Gowther says that all of this was not for his own freedom, but to end this Holy War. Diana decides to stay behind to talk to the Gowther and the Dol Gowther, who is temporarily shut down, while King runs to rescue Gerhard, which he once again fails with. If there's one thing King has always failed with and will fail on, is always getting late to save those who is dear to him. So, but it turns out that another thing has been revealed here that I have noticed on the TV tropes. The 7 deadly sins, they were formed to defeat the 10 commandments. At the beginning I didn't understand, because, their power levels are way down from the 10 commandments. I see no reason how they can defeat them. Well, maybe Escanor. However, they have been dropping some hints that it's not their power level that the reason for it joining the 7 deadly sins in order to overcome the 10 commandments. No, I think it is because of who they are. They can actually overcome the 10 commandments. If you think about it, Ban has an undying love to Elaine, which is pretty strange now that it's revealed that his human reincarnation was scum. And doing so, he has utmost faith in her, meaning he is unaffected by Mera Skyla's faith. Also, Merlin somehow can freeze her time, meaning that she can kill things in the presence of the pacifism and not age because her time is stopping, meaning she's immune to the pacifism commitment. And now Gowther reveals the fact that even though Diana do not remember it much, the fact that she has unwavering trust and love in King, she is makes her immune to the selfless commandments. It's something like go for this explains like it's not a relationship that is built on what you desire from, but but what you give to one other. Meaning that the selfless commandment is apparently effective for those that uh, uh, apparently selfless is when you desire someone from another. Yeah, that is pretty selfish. Uh, and instead, Diana have and King have given much to each other. So that makes her immune to the selfless commandment. And wait, wasn't there someone more? Oh yeah, Escanor is immune to the love commandment after all because he has undying pride in himself, meaning that he has no reason to feel hatred. So yeah, every single one of the seven deadly sins do indeed have a personality that makes them immune to the Ten Commandments. Wonder though what Meliodas is immune to, or what uh, King is immune to. Well, we'll see. Either way, the dull Gowther, no, the real Gowther explains that he wanted to end this war, and according to, and Diana tells him that the Holy War did end, although you did not tell that it ended with the humans in power and the other species on the brink of extinction. But it seems that the real Gowther was a philosophic man and actually a kind-hearted demon. He did not want freedom. He just merely wanted this holy war to understand and everybody to understand each other. Uh, actually, he says it himself. If only all the clans could get along like you two, then we'd probably never have a holy war at all. In a way, the real Gowther's wish, so to speak, is eerily similar, not eerily, but is extremely similar to what the goddess Diana desired, meaning that there must come someone who can unite the clans, but these grudges will never fade. And so Gowther awakens the dull Gowther and tells him that now the dull Gowther has its own will and its own power. With an intelligence like Gowther, the dull Gowther has a personality of a child. And it turns out that he did not create Gowther because only to, I mean, the Dolgother just to move around and such. No, he seemed to legitimately care about the Dolgother. And the reason why Gowther died, at least what's implied here, is because he used his heart magic to create an artificial heart within the Dolgother. And that was his first and final wish, or final gift. With that, he probably would die, and he asked Diana to guide Gowther on the right path should he ever lose his way. Well, he has lost his way now. Will and even the doll Gowther begs that. So will Diana guide Gowther to the right way? Well, he better. I mean, she better. And with that, the Gowther says he is giving her a final gift as a gift to the other two Gowthers. That makes me wonder, what is that? Is that to awaken her true memories? I hope so. Either way, King realizes he's too late as he finally catches up and sees Rao holding the clutches of poor Gerhard, who's bloodied, cut her eye cut open, and her legs cut off, and her wings badly damaged. And truly a heartbreaking betrayal. And even as King get to this place, he wondered, was this the true trial? The fact that it was the trial that Gloxnia put King through, meant to be to protect his sister. But then again, we know that Gerhard, at least it's implied, to be alive all these years ago. But but then again, a fairy can, besides a fairy king, can only become 1,000 years old. So maybe there's a other hint from that. So I wonder what is the trial? I mean, given Rao's sadistic face, I have a feeling that this is the trial. The trial of decision. What would you have done if you saw this? That is what he's putting King through. What would you have done? I think it's obvious that Glocksnea killed Rao right there and there, and then realized that humanity was scum, and then decided to join the Ten Commandments together with Dollar, who agreed once he heard his own species was killed, only to kill all the humans. I think that's the reason. Of course, that doesn't still explain why they would betray them, blah blah blah. But we'll see. So what will they do? I mean, the next chapter is called "This is what we call love." So yeah, it doesn't exact. It almost implies it's gonna be a hope chapter, but I do not think so. So what would King do? I mean, King hasn't really liked humans that much, but at the same time, he hasn't become fully, completely hate on them. Could it have been that this trial was also in order to turn King into a completely hating fairy of the humans? I mean, it wouldn't have been surprised me if that was also the trial. After all, if they could get two seven deadly sins on their sides, that would probably have worked. But I digress. What is the trial? Is it to spare you or not spare you? Is it to what would you have done in this situation, or was it to save your heart? Either way, King would have probably failed. After all, this is King. What I want to know is why did these humans have such a grudge against Stigma? Was it because of Stigma's enormous arrogance? And was it because, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Goddess clan was far from saints, and we saw that even before the humans betrayed them. So I'm just asking, did this so-called holy war have extreme casualties? It wouldn't surprise me if the reason why they had such a grudge against Stigma was because humans being the weakest, although technically these weren't exactly the weakest, got in the way of this battle, and many died. Either way, I'm saying I don't trust any single species in Nanatsu no Taizai. All of them are guilty, and all of them are not guilty. The humans, the fairies, the giants, the demons, all of them have done sins. And I'm not talking seven deadly sins. So in the way, this is just gray and gray. Who are we to truly trust? What's truly heartbreaking is portraying this species this way, because they need to get together. They need to become one again. If they need to unite if they want to have a future in Britannia. But who can unite species like them? My guess is his author. Give me your faults if you have any.